Hello, I just want to give you a quick journal orientation. You will keep your work in these journal files since there is no textbook for the main part of this course. Navigation is very simple, and I've tried to make it easier for you by copying most of the practice files to these journal files. So let's get started. Open your Data Files folder if you haven't already. Open the Module 1 journal. Read all of the instructions on the Instructions tab before you attempt any of the activities. This page has the objectives for the module. Click on the Journal tab. Notice that there are links to tutorials on the left. On the right, you have links to the tabs in this workbook that contain the practice files for these tutorials. Most of the time, the practice files are right here in this workbook. I'll click on 05A to show you. Sometimes you are advised to download the workbook from the tutorial page and paste a screenshot here in the journal. Return to the main menu using the arrow. Practice 10 is an example that tells you to download the file from the site. No problem, it's just an extra step for you to have to download the file. You'll perform the steps on that file instead of a worksheet here, and you'll paste a screenshot to the tab in this workbook to let me know that you completed it. Let's return to the main menu. Now let's step through one together. Enter the date you work on the activity in column A. Specifically cell A13 for this example. Click on the 08 Formatting Cells opens in a new window link. It will open the tutorial video in the default browser on your computer. Snap the window to the left side of your screen. If you have access to a widescreen monitor, this would be a great time to utilize it. Click on 08A. This will move you to the first practice sheet for this activity. Snap the workbook to the right. The A on the tab name means that it's for the tutorial that starts here at the top of the page. The B on the other tab is for the challenge activity at the end. I tried to denote items with A and B for these activities whenever possible. So, you'll complete everything in this tutorial up to the challenge part on tab 08A. Switch to 08B for the challenge. Sometimes there is only one sheet tab, and you might complete all steps from the page, including the challenge activity, on the single tab. It's really not difficult and will just take a little time for you to get used to it. Remember to use the green arrow on the practice sheet to return to the journal main menu to move on to the next activity. I did this for you so that you wouldn't have to download so many files and have 20 to 40 files to submit for each journal. That would be difficult to manage. With this method, everything stays neatly in one workbook. You can use Control Page Up and Control Page Down to quickly flip through the tabs in the workbook. Return to the main menu. Make a brief journal entry in cell C13 after you finish all of Tutorial 8's activities. This is a good place to make brief notes and to record any issues you had and how you resolved them. Or, if you need to take many notes on a topic, just make a note in column C stating that you made notes on the practice sheet, which would be 08A or 08B for this particular example. You want to create a good reference file because you will be tested on most of the activities covered in the tutorials listed on the Journal tab. If you have a decent journal, it can be a tremendous asset to you when you take the tests. Let's look at one more example. Click on the link for number 14. Click on the Practice Sheet 14 link. Notice that this one is from a different source. You will just need to follow along with the video and perform the steps whenever necessary. Content from these videos will also be on the tests. Don't forget to enter the date and journal entry for this tutorial on the Journal tab. After finishing all tutorial activities in a module, review the module by filling in the Quick Notes column on the MOS Quick Ref sheet. This will be very useful when you review for the MOS exam at the end of the course. Please keep the entries brief. We are excited about trying something new by not using a textbook for the main portion of this course. We hope that you will find it more effective than a textbook since most of the material is presented in short, interactive segments. Please email the instructor if you need assistance.